Hello, and today we're doing an FPL review of Game Week 23. It was a good one, I've got to say. And let's just start off with the trio of Gündogan, Fernandes and John Stones were all brilliant this week. Stones cruelly denied a goal by the tightest of margins, but few, because he was on my bench, but he still played very, very well. Manchester City played very, very well as they thumped Liverpool 4-1. And Bruno Fernandes, once again, looking a class act. And Gündogan, with more joy, a brace against the champions. So let's wrap up my review of Game Week 23. So, of course, Game Week 23, the last game week before the next double game week. And I said in my FPL review, it was a big preview, I should say. It was a big week. I needed like a 90-pointer. Did I get it? No. But we have to keep on persevering with this team because it's still good. It's just we're getting a little bit unlucky from week to week. But still very much one we should be happy about. So in Game Week 23, we scored, let's just come out with it. In this week, it was 1 point better than last week. 73. And then with the -4 hit in consideration, it's technically 69, but just generally 73. And that meant it was a game week rank of 1,506,655. And my overall rank is 244,089. So that's up to 244k, a tiny green arrow of about 3.4 thousand, which to be fair is not bad. 3.4k, and a lot of people had a red arrow this week. So to get a green arrow, the points difference, if you have 3 more points, it could be the difference between a red and a green arrow. So you know what they say, every little helps. But let's go into this game week and review it piece by piece. My overall points now is 1,409. So that's my overall points. 1,409, and it's always nice when you get a green arrow, and especially on the run I was on, 2 red arrows in a row was not exactly ideal stuff. But Game Week 23, we were back in business, and you've got to say, before I do my player-by-player review, the -4 hit, it was actually properly worth it. It really did help me out. The 2 transfers, Rodriguez in for Wilfried Zaha. Zaha, of course, injured with his hamstring from that Newcastle game. Rodriguez coming in for the Manchester United game. And I had the bold, brave decision to play him. And it paid off. And he scored. What a finish against them, the Red Devils. And then I also did Patrick Bamford in for Ryan Brewster. And that worked a treat as well. So they both really went down well. A goal for each of them. Patrick Bamford now 100 in his career and all teams, and that is incredible. Leeds are an incredible team. I love their style of play, just going for it. And talking about Leeds, Stuart Dallas does it again. He's such an absolute legend. Duke Dallas. I had him starting in my team this week, thankfully, and I missed out on the 7-pointer against Leicester, but I didn't miss out on the 12-pointer this week against Crystal Palace. He does it again. Duke Dallas. Called it at the start of the season, so I'm absolutely loving that. Then I also got the Sanchez selection decision right this week, which is nice to see. A few of them we haven't got right, but we got it right, and it is just nice to have that option, because on another day, Mendy could always have got a clean sheet against Sheffield, but I wanted Sanchez to outscore him, and if Sanchez had got injured, Mendy's a very reliable man to come in, and it turned out Sanchez got himself a bonus. And Sanchez, unfortunately couldn't keep the clean sheet, but neither did Mendy. And actually, Mendy conceded a bit more of a catastrophic goal, and Chelsea didn't, have too many shots to deal with from Sheffield United. So there was more save points in there for the absolute legend that is Robert Sanchez. But yeah, 6 points. It would have been 6 points if he'd have got the clean sheet and then done nothing else, but instead 5, and what a legend, 6 saves that he made against Burnley. He just looks absolutely brilliant. Brighton defensively quite a good team. Obviously, you would want a clean sheet against Burnley, but it's not, the end of the world. And then another 3 bonuses for my guy, the beast that is Aaron Cresswell. I mean, what a legend. He's just so good. Attacking, defensive, West Ham having a great season. And then Grealish and Diaz. Grealish and Diaz, I've got to be honest, I'm not happy with you. Not happy with you at all. Really frustrating yellow cards and blanks in terms of attacking potential, and they just didn't get the goals. But, we move. Bruno and Salah, both very good premium options. They each got goals of themselves. United may be out the title race, but it's still 5 points. So some United fans need to calm down. They're still probably in with a shout, but it wasn't ideal the way they threw away that Everton game. And talking of out of the title race, I think Liverpool might be. Just the manner of that defeat against City. But you never can rule out things in football. It's a very funny game, and Salah getting a goal of himself, a bit less spectacular than the one from Bruno, but still, with Salah, he's going to score those penalties straight down the middle, made the game a bit exciting to make it honours even, but then City stretching away, and Bruno, what a finish. That is absolutely brilliant. Takes one touch and then just bends it. No chance for Robin Olsen, and yeah, Bruno is a class player. And then Gündogan, the monster haul from Gündogan, 13 points. Come on, against the champions, that is what you want to see. You want to see these big game players. And Gündogan, who's not even, I don't even understand how it's got to this point, right? He's not even, he is now. Okay, I was going to say he's not even 6 million, but he is now. That's fair enough. But the point is, he's getting so many goals, value for money, and he's a great replacement for De Bruyne, and that was why I brought him in. So I'm loving that. What a haul that is, monster stuff really. And then the annoying things of the game week, and that was Antonio. The captaincy didn't work. It was bold. It was brave. Sometimes that works. Sometimes it doesn't. And it could have easily worked on another day, but not this week. Is what it is. He went off, and luckily, it wasn't too serious. They just precautionary taking him off to make sure he was resting his hamstring. And he is a bit tired at the minute, but I'm sure he'll have a rest in the cup game against United tonight, and then he'll probably be back and ready to go against Sheffield United. But yeah, it didn't work. Obviously, when you get 4 points from a captain, it's not ideal, but it's not like we haven't had this before. Salah got 4 points, so it's not ideal. Obviously, you want to be captaining Fernandes maybe, or even people like Gündogan, but I just think it felt right to go different this week, and maybe we go more obvious next week. But it's fine. I really don't mind about it. I'm be more distressed if I was a Souček owner, because that red card was not a red card, and it was rightly rescinded. So they've done the right thing there. But 0 pointer, not exactly ideal stuff, especially for those people that captained him. But yeah, the other pain of this week was DCL. That's just not needed at all, is it? I go and bench him, and it's reasonable. Manchester United have been one of the top teams this season, and then he just has to go and get a 12-point haul. I mean, I'm amazed with him. I'm so happy for him. He's a legend of my team, but he just had to pick the wrong game, really. And I followed my advice for using my football magazine that said to bench him in either the game against Leeds or Man United, and I chose to play him against Leeds. I thought Man United surely too much of a tough game, but fair play. DCL, that's impressive. 12 points. And nobody, I'm telling you now, nobody would have guessed a Kilman 8-pointer against Leicester City. That is really surprising, and it stings to have him and DCL on my bench this week. But it is what it is. All in all, not a bad week at all. 72 was what I got last week, 73 this week with the -4. And I always seem just to be about 15 points off what I really need. But at the end of the day, we move, we live and learn, and we hope for some better things to come back in vengeance in Gameweek 24. But let's do the player-by-player analysis. So Sanchez, 5-pointer, absolute legend. He's just a great buy, and I'm pretty sure I got him in before the crowd. Like, you can say, oh yeah, he's a great goalkeeper to have now with the fixtures Brighton have now, but I was pretty early to jump on the Sanchez train. So just looking back at my previous scores, I'm pretty sure that I got Sanchez. Was it in the double game week? I think it might have been. Yeah, because I did my wild card. Yeah, I did my wild card in the double game week 19, and that's when I brought in Sanchez. So that was all the way back in game week 19. And admittedly, I didn't actually play him in that double game week. I benched him, but in that double game week, he went and got 7 points against a very good Leeds United team. Mendy had actually 2 games, and he only got 1 more point. So that just shows how class Sanchez is. But then I played him for that clean sheet that he got against Fulham. Lovely stuff. I couldn't have seen the clean sheet against Spurs coming, but still, that just shows his potential. Another bonus in that game, and just as good in the game against Liverpool. 7 points, another bonus. He's just picking up bonus points like there's no tomorrow, and he did it again against Burnley. Lovely stuff. 1 bonus, 6 saves, which gave him an extra 2 points, as well as obviously the 2 for the 90 minutes. So, yeah, absolutely brilliant from Robert Sanchez, and he's a player that I think just looks good to own long term. And I know you might say, oh, well, if you have 2 starting goalkeepers, you'll regret it, but most of the time, it's the right thing to do, because then you have something to rely on if it's an injury or a rearrangement, and in these COVID times, things are very uncertain. But also, it gives you options. If there's a better fixture, and, those fixtures for Brighton are looking pretty good up until game week 27, and then he's got a nice patch again, game week 33 till about game week 35. So, yeah, good player to have, and absolute legend this week, 5 points. Then Ruben Diaz. Now, I'm not happy with you. It's not good, really. You just go and give away a penalty. You pull down Salah. Now, is it a penalty? I think it is. You could say Salah makes a meal of it, but at the end of the day, there is contact. He pulls his arm, and he just gets the wrong side of Salah, and the only way he could make up for it was to make the foul. So, yeah, a bit frustrating, that one, to give away the penalty, get a yellow card because of it. And that took away a -1 off his score. And obviously he didn't get the clean sheet because of that, but I was not really expecting a clean sheet. It was just, I was expecting an attacking return from Ruben. And it didn't come, which is a shame, but, it could have easily been a goal for John Stones, my other Man City defender, that I chose to bench this week. Second on my bench was John Stones. And I was actually really glad when he had this goal ruled out, because I was thinking, no, surely not. Calvert-Lewin, Kilman, getting loads of points on my bench. Can't have Stones scoring as well. So, yeah, it's not ideal, because if I'd have played Stones over Diaz, then I would have 1 extra point. But it really doesn't matter. It's just a shame about that yellow card, and that Ruben Diaz couldn't do anything against Liverpool. But at the end of the day, again, he's still a good player to own. He's still got loads of bonus points recently. And that Man City defensive double-up just looks so good for so long this season. Moving on, Duke Dallas, what a legend. And I kind of was looking at that Leeds game for a lot of big points, because I had 2 players in that game on the Monday Night Football. Now, the thing with Bamford is I kind of needed like a hat-trick from Patrick Bamford to save my week in terms of ranking and leagues, but he only got 1. So that's a shame, but I'm still very happy with him. He got his goal. And the thing with Bamford and the thing with Leeds, they create so many chances. So it does take a few chances for Bamford to score. But I don't mind that, because that shows his perseverance. It shows his endeavour to actually get a goal and not be denied. So he's going to get goals each week. It's not going to be necessarily a hat-trick. We've done that 1 time this season, but it's not going to be happening loads. But at the end of the day, goals are goals, and if you can get them over your other opponents, then Dallas and Bamford are both useful. Bamford more so in terms of that goal return, but Dallas does pop up with a few as well, and he gets assists. And it wasn't a very good thing really with Leeds that their defence has been a problem, but facing a Crystal Palace team with no Zaha, and a Palace team that were really outrun by Leeds, that they're so full of energy, with the fullbacks pushing up, pushing back to defend. It was the perfect game for Dallas to keep the clean sheet, and he got it, to get him that 4 points. So that's really, really nice. And then the assist for the opening goal. It was simple stuff, really nice build-up play from the Whites, and a nice just little pass in behind, in between a Palace defender, outside of his foot from Dallas, into Harrison. It took a deflection off Gary Cahill, I do believe, but at the end of the day, it's still a lovely assist for Dallas, so we'll take it. And then 3 bonuses. Delicious. So very happy with you, Duke Dallas, one of your monster hauls this week. And thank goodness I didn't bench you this week. But, you know, on the ideal situation, you play Kilman over Stones, and then that way you've got your 3 high-scoring... sorry, not Stones. You play Kilman over Diaz, and that way you've got your 3 high-scoring defenders from your whole team all starting, and then your lowest on the bench. But I wasn't to know that Kilman was going to do a mad one against Leicester, and I just didn't think he'd have any tackling potential. He didn't, but he got bonuses, 2 bonuses because of his defensive work, and Diaz, as I said, couldn't get that attacking return. But talking of attacking returns, you know that Cresswell is going to get assists. He didn't this week, but even when he doesn't, he gets forward and he puts in crosses, and that's what is getting him bonuses. He's getting involved in the game, and he got himself 9 points, which is lovely. You know, 3 bonuses. To get 2, maximum bonuses from 2 of your defenders is really, really satisfying. And a clean sheet is ultimately what you want for defenders. Fulham could have scored. They had a few good chances, to be fair. But, you know, I think it was one of those games that passed both teams by. The red card at the end was a bit of a controversial incident. But ultimately, a very good day's work for Aaron Cresswell. So I'm happy with that. Then moving on to James Rodriguez. What a legend. He's actually my favourite player of this week. I know that's a funny one to say because, you know, you've got Bamford, you've got Gündogan and Fernandes and Salah. They all did so well, as well as obviously Stuart Dallas. But he's my favourite player because I brought him in, regardless of the fixture. I thought, I have faith in you, mate. And I haven't got faith in this camera because it keeps freezing. But most importantly, I have faith in James. And he's a quality player. And I just thought, you know, he might struggle against Man United, but at the end of the day, class is permanent and you can score against big teams, and he did that exactly. Really nice finish, it's got to be said, to collect the ball from DCL and then just stroke it home. You know, that's a classy finish. He is a classy player, and at Real Madrid he didn't get the game time he deserved, but he's really fulfilling his role at Everton, and I just think he's a great player to own, especially with, wink wink, the double game week coming up in Game Week 24. So, Rodriguez, my guy, with a 7-pointer as soon as he comes into the team. Very, very nice. Then Jack Grealish, there's no need for it. There's just no need. I'm not happy with you. Just leave it out. Why do you have to get booked? There's just, nah, I'm not happy, alright? So, he didn't do anything against Arsenal, and I was going to get another Villa player in. It was going to be Ollie Watkins, and at the end of the day, it's a shame that I didn't go for Watkins instead of Bamford to replace Brewster. But at the end of the day, Bamford also scored. Obviously, it's frustrating that Bamford didn't get 3 bonuses like Watkins did. But, you know, I was looking about the double game week. I was seeing that Leeds had one in Game Week 25. So it's a long-term thing. I'm sure Bamford will outscore Watkins long-term. But we went with Grealish for this Villa game. And it just didn't, unfortunately, pay off. But Grealish is still a class player. He's still one you want to have. And, you know, the yellow card's not ideal, but I'm sure he'll pick himself up and dust himself down. Then we had a brilliant trio of premium returns for Salah, Bruno, and Gündogan. And now Salah, yeah, you'd argue maybe he wasn't that involved in the Man City game, and neither were Liverpool really. Quite quiet in that one, and they are struggling. But Mo Salah is Mo Salah. He can score in any given week, and that penalty that he's got in his locker, you know, that's part of the reason he's so tempting in fantasy, because in a week that Liverpool don't do too much, he can still return with goals and get a penalty and stick it away. So, yeah, well done, Mo. That's nice to get the return, the 1 goal, to get the 5 points, and we move next to our vice-captain, Bruno Fernandes. Now, I wish I had captained him, because it was very close. People were talking about the monster haul that he got in the reverse fixture with Everton. I kind of think with the reverse fixture thing, I don't think about that too much, but I should probably do it more often because it usually does play a role. And he did get a lovely, lovely goal. Obviously, you'd want more goals from Bruno Fernandes because it's only 1 and no bonuses. But at the end of the day, it's better than what, Antonio did, and better than what Bamford and Diaz did. So at the end of the day, it's a shame I didn't captain him, but he's still a class player that I can captain going forward, or even vice captain, it depending on the players we've got. But at the end of the day, still a great player to own, and nice to get that goal. What a brilliant goal it was in that 3-3 draw. But yeah, again, decent stuff. A nice building block to go from. And then our last midfielder, İlkay Gündogan, and he absolutely rips it up. 13 points. Now, when I started off the game, I was thinking it's just going to be one of those days for İlkay Gündogan. He gets absolutely taken out by Thiago, and you're thinking, no, there's no need for it. Because I kind of wanted Gündogan to not play at all. And the reason behind that, Dominic Calvert-Lewin first on my bench, but he could never come on, unfortunately. But he was looking like he was going to get taken off because it was a bad injury. But he was all right. He was a brave soldier, carried on, and then he goes and gets a penalty, and you're thinking, okay, let's think about this. Liverpool, Man City before, we've seen it. Penalties skied over by Mahrez, put wide by De Bruyne this season. Please don't make it the same. And you know what happens? He skies it, and it's a terrible penalty. And you're thinking, Gündogan, mate, there is just simply no need for that. A -2 on the points for him because of that missed penalty. But boy, does he redeem himself and really does make amends, because 2 goals against Liverpool is lovely. And they were both, really nice poached goals. Fox in the box, getting alert to it, and really good work from the wingers, but ultimately mistakes from Alisson. And the first one isn't a mistake from Alisson, but more just really good, appreciation of the positioning from Gündogan. And he just snucks in there with the save from Alisson after Foden's shot, just putting his body in the line. And I'm pretty sure Gündogan has to kind of get clattered into Alisson's flying leg as he goes off to celebrate the goal. But it's still a very nice finish from close range. And then the second one, pulled back to him by Foden and in off the crossbar. Trent, you could tell, was furious, but furious at how class that Gündogan is. And to get the 2 goals is lovely for a midfielder. 10 points. And it meant 13 with the bonuses added on of 3. So brilliant days out for the German, and I'm hoping plenty more points to come like this. And now we go to the odds. In terms of the forward line, it was a bit mixed. I say the odds, more the results, but it was a bit of both, really. First of all, let's start with the positive. Patrick Bamford, once again scoring, and he looks really good, just full of chances, that Leeds team, and it was a goal I was praying was going to come, and it did. And at the end of the day, that's nice, just good anticipation on it. He did blaze over that chance before, but as I said, he's got the endeavour to score eventually. He will not be denied, and it was a nice finish to just tap it past Gündogan after the save from the shot from Rafinha. So that's nice. And then Antonio, mate, there's no need for it. Like, I was backing you against Fulham. He didn't really get much service. There was a chance, I think, when Cresswell, or was it Bowen maybe, whipped in the ball, and it might have been perfect for Antonio to throw himself at, and he just couldn't quite get there. And I think it was Bowen that was actually coming in after him, and Souček tried to keep it in, but he couldn't quite. And that was kind of not many chances after that. So it's a bit of a frustrating one when you captain him, but at the end of the day, it was a risk. Some risks, pay off, some don't. That's the nature of fantasy football. It is what it is. And, when your goalkeeper outscores your captain, you've not had the best of week. But it's also not the worst week. It's still a very solid score. And I think, really, the green arrow is massive. And really, though I did mess up the captaincy a little bit, and I messed up not playing DCL, I'd say that was basically all I got wrong this week. So, we've had a decent go of it. So on the bench, 3 from Mendy for not getting that clean sheet, but did make 3 saves. But Sanchez can double that, easy money in terms of saves. Calvert-Lewin, he was amazing. Get the assist for the Rodriguez goal, or was it for the first one? Maybe it was for the first one, for the Decore one. But I'm pretty sure it was for the Decore goal. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, he's just a legend, and he can score against anyone. So, yeah, we'll think about that in future weeks when we have to decide whether or not to bench him. But the point is, amazing stuff really, to score the goal, and just great character bust shown by Everton when they were 2-0 down, 2-2, then 3-2 down. That would have been a blow, but not for Everton. And 4 points for the goal, 3 points for the assist, and then another 3 bonuses. You don't see many forwards get 3 bonuses when it's a 3-3. You know, you usually say that the bonus would be a bit more spread out across the team. But that just shows Calvert-Lewin the impression he's giving. So, yeah, shame he's not in the team and giving him those points, but he's still part of the squad, and he's a good pick to have in your team. And then finally, John Stones 2-pointer, nearly had a goal, nearly had a clean sheet, of course, if it wasn't for Diaz, but at the end of the day, Stones is still a legend. He's gone so far with this team, and he will never be forgotten for his 27-pointer in the double game week. And then Kilman 8 points. Not ideal, but as I said, I don't think many people would have guessed that one. The clean sheet against Leicester is pretty impressive from Wolves' point of view. Can they keep it up? I don't think so. But 4 points from that, and then the 2 bonuses. He just did well in that game to keep Leicester out. But that wraps up my review of game week number 23. Trying to keep track of the weeks. It's pretty tough in lockdown because all the days merge into one. But at the end of the day, it was a decent week. You know, Green Arrow, we're up to a nice rank of 244k. But it's game week 24 time. It's double game week time. So I'll be doing my FPL preview for game week 24 in a short time, and it will be coming out, that preview, of course, on Saturday 11 o'clock. You know what to do. Smash a like on the video and smash a like on this one. I shall see you in the next one though. Bye bye.